Hello and welcome. I'm Paula and we are talking today about in colours and how they're used on designer series paper. So just to remind you, this month for May only, I am offering an in colour starter pack. So I have been showing a few different ideas using these new 5 colours. They come in cardstock, they come in Stampin' Write markers, they come in Stampin' Blend markers, they also come obviously in embellishments, they come in ribbons, they come in decorative paper and the stamp pads. So there is a whole wealth of beautiful products available to you using these 5 new colours. My starter pack will include the Stampin' Write markers, the pearls, it'll include some of this DSP, so you'll get half a pack of the DSP, it'll include 5 additional just little extra sheets of A4 cardstock, 1 of each colour, and you'll get an inspiration sheet with many of the projects I've been showing you, plus a few extras that you can use with your little pack to get started. So do let me know if you're interested in that. That's only available to the end of May. Now what I want to talk about today is, yes, we can do beautiful things with just the cardstock itself and just the inks itself, but what we're now going to see going through the next 2 years are these 5 beautiful colours coming through in some of our designer series papers. Okay, so the one I've got here is actually one from our online release. It was released in May. So it's only been out for a week or two, and this one is a really fun set. It is called the Cheers and Sips set, or at least that's the bundle's name. Celebratory Sips, I think, is the name of the suite. So in the suite you have got a whole bunch of different patterned papers. Some of the patterned paper has got a theme, which I'll show you in a minute, and some is more subtle. So as you can see here, for example, the star one, it's got one of our brand new colours. Can you guess which one it is? That's right, it is the cloud cover. Now if I just have my little swatches of cardstock back again, you'll see in here, there's the cloud cover. That's that lovely bluey grey. It's a lovely shade. That's in here. You're also going to be seeing that timid tiger. Can you see the stripy pattern over here? We're going to see strawberry slush, which is coming through in some of these pinkier hues in here. And although you're not seeing Secret Sea, this shade is tying in beautifully with these all as a bit of a neutral that's not black. So I'm loving how we can incorporate many of our new in colours. In fact, I think that could even be Darling Duckling. I must double check that. So we have got these colours coming through in this gorgeous DSP. Right, so in this set we are including a bundle. Now bundle is when you've got a stamp set and a die set that tie in together, and you can see there's a little bit of a theme with this bundle. It's more about cocktails and all the little garnishes and accessories you might have to have a celebration, and that's what this pack's all about. We have got a delightful little series of 2 mini embossing folders. These embossing folders, I'm just putting on a bit of coloured cards so you can see them better. We've got one that's got the sort of impressions of maybe a glass, say like a whiskey glass or something, a nice looking glass. And then we've got this beautiful floral, and this is quite special. I really love this, quite elegant. So these two can, at both sides, they can go through your mini cut and emboss machine or just your standard, so whichever you like to use, you can use them with these folders. We've also got obviously some embellishments. These are the holographic resin dots in all different sizes. Beautiful ribbon as well here with a gold edging, see-through generally with that lovely gold stripe, which is just so nice. Okay, so what can we do with the set? So the set obviously has that celebration feel. It has got the cocktail feel, so great for your girls' weekends away, celebrating a hen's party, 21st, any sort of celebration really. This one's going to work really well. Holiday away. However, if you're not wanting to do holidays, just remember we can use that back side. So we've got some quite good subtle patterns. We've got some beautiful florals. Look at that one. So lovely. And the back side of that is that green. We've got the orange stripe. We've got this lovely fine floral. So again, not all just about cocktails. So we can incorporate cocktails. This one's not a very big piece, but you can see that beautiful shade of a floral coming through. And this one is my favorite non-specific theme one. This one, how big is this sheet? It's reasonable size. You can see I'm cutting into all of these. This one's got that strawberry slush hue coming through, but it's a beautiful shade. So there's quite a few fun colors and quite generic backings, as always with our papers, and then the more themed on the front. Now, what do you think of this stunning piece? I've already cut into this a little bit, but isn't that a cool background? That does not have to be cocktail glasses. It's really just watercolor splotches. Really, really fun. So that is actually on the back of that lovely star one. That there is a really good base for your scrapbooking pages if you want to add quite a touch of color. And you'll see if you look online at the suite that they have got a single page created using this in the scrapbooking section of the book. In fact, I think it's in the main book as well. Let me just find that, because it's always good to see how these beautiful papers come to life. Let me just find it in here. It's in the scrapbooking section. Here we go. Oh, and I can see it as a hint of it there. Here it is. So there's this one here using that beautiful background paper in the back. Now, I haven't got it in my hands just yet, but it's on its way to me. There is a scrapbooking stamp set that ties in as well. So if you don't want to do your cocktail themed pieces for embellishing, you've got a lovely set here that's quite generic with just a little floral pattern. It's got some lovely big words that you can use over and over again. You've also got coordinating two-toned cardstock, which is again great for scrapbooking for that lighter page weight, but also really good for your card making when you want to add layers onto a card. And there's a sticker sheet that can go with the paper pack as well. The sticker sheet looks a really fun one. It's got the word summer fun in it. It has got one as a cocktail jug. Then it's got a few other sort of floral embellishments and some really nice borders in there as well. Now, once again, that's not all with this set. There is also a scrapbooking workshop. Let me just find it. That's the collection. I still need to get my head around here. Here we go. Inside here we have got the beautiful Celebrate Together. And this scrapbooking collection, this kit, includes exclusive elements that you can't get any other way. It's including that sticker sheet we saw, but it's also including some die cut sheets and a cut apart piece and a couple of other pieces that are exclusive 12 by 12 DSP to this kit. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. That's on its way to me as well, and that's the one I will be creating with at our crop and kit class on Sunday at the end of the month. So if you want to come along and join the kits club, you need to get this orders as soon as possible. So do let me know if you're wanting to do that. Right, so I want to have a little bit of fun with the set. I've got the bundle at the moment is available to me, and I want to just show you there's some really neat things you can do with the papers. So, for example, we've got this quite a neat, like miniature detailed piece that's got lots of different little elements in here. You can fussy cut that out. There's nothing to stop you just cutting around the shapes of some of these things. And I'll just show you a little card I've made doing exactly that. So this is quite a simple idea. I've pulled in that embossing folder, the floral in the background just as a base. I've used these beautiful shapes to cut as a starting point behind each of the clusters, and then I've used this paper to cut out lots of fun little images and layered them up to have little celebration clusters. That little Let's Celebrate, such a tiny little font, but it looks quite effective on this beautiful card, just comes from the bundle stamp set. So that there, and then I've just done on the inside a little bit of that embossing along the base as well, just to tie both sides together. So that's how simple you can use the paper and embossing folders just to give yourself a lovely hint of the theme going on in this set. Now there is a larger piece in here as well. The larger piece has similar kind of embellishments, but they are in big format. So these are really well sized for scrapbooking. Now I haven't done a lot of scrapbooking, and we might just do one together in a minute, but you'll see here at the bottom of this double page layout there is a couple of clusters where I have just put a couple of these together as part of a celebration of being at on stage. So that there is just a little example of using some of those larger embellishments as it, fussy cutting them out. Now there is in the set 2 larger dies which match quite well to the images on this page. So you don't have to fussy cut them all. If you want the ones with the garnishes intact, then yes, you will have to fussy cut that out because that's the right size, but it's going to cut off the embellishment. But you can see there's quite a few of these little glasses that are plain that you can just cut out using this die. Now there's also a little special extra die with the set, which I didn't have in my hands, I've just got them. So this one here is also in here. So you've got your little open rectangle, but you've also got this little one that does a partial die, so it just creates an impression on the piece. So I have fussy cut out the lemonade glass, but then I have run this through the die cutting machine with this one on top, run it through, and it has created that really neat little pattern. Now just see if you can pick it up. It's kind of like a little crisscross, and it makes it look like we're in one of those slightly more bubbly type glasses with your drink inside. So that's a fun way to add a bit of texture to your page using the dies. So we'll just pop that one back there. Now there's a whole heap of these little elements that match another page. So let me just get that up for you. Right, so here is this other piece, and it has got things like orange peel, strawberries, it's got little garnishes like your mints, rosemary or other types of little embellishy florals. So as you can see, I can go through here with all these little dies and find matching spots. Our lemons, they can be cut out of this. I'm trying to think what this small one is. It might be, oh, it's not the cherry because this is the cherry. We've got the cherry one we can cut out. We've got this gorgeous little sprig of, well, I'm calling it lavender. It's not probably lavender because they're a bit more rounded. What else have we got here? That's for your ice. This is another sprig. So as you can see, we'll put this one over here. The umbrellas from the other page. And this one here, this one is maybe not on this page. Maybe it was on the previous. This looks like the vegetable sprig. I'm not seeing it on here. So it must be on the other one. So there is a whole ton of little images you can cut out of this really fun set to embellish your clusters as well. And I'm loving that because, you know, these papers, if they're not quite your cup of tea for a whole background, they really are brilliant for all of these embellishing opportunities that you can pop onto a celebratory page. So we'll just pop these back on here. There is a couple of other pieces on here. There's this one here that's like the cocktail stick. And you can pop, in fact that smaller one is to like little olives, I think. So you can just cut out green paper, like little olives, and you can thread them through to make like little olives on a stick, cocktail stick. So that's a really fun look as well. I think that's a celery topper, but I can't remember, I can't see it on here. So as you can see, there's a lot of fun ways of using the dies to enhance the paper and make for really neat embellishment opportunities. So let's create a celebration page. Now I'm going to model this page a little bit on this card that I've made, but make it into a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, probably a double page actually by the number of photos I've put out in front of me. These photos come from when we went to On Stage recently, so these are just some fun team pics. Star Crafters were over there. This is led up by Megan, I'm a part of. There's one of my team members here, Di, and I've got another team member, it's floating around in here somewhere. Kath, here she is. Kath as well was over there with us. We had a really fun time, so I would want to celebrate that, and I think these cocktail glasses add that element of fun to the page. So what I'm going to use, I've already fussy cut out some of those shapes, those splatters that were on that 12 by 12 set, and I've fussy cut out some of these. I could have taken these two and used the dies, but as I was on the roll doing all the rest of them, I just fussy cut those ones out as well. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to start with a white piece and I'm going to layer up some paper. I think I will probably have, we've got this lovely, us celebrating with a glass of champagne first thing in the morning, I might add, with this lovely more formal photo taken with Karen Patterson, who used to be as close to my heart and has moved across to Stampin' Up too, one of the top product development leads. So that's quite a formal photo, so I might put those two on one side and put some of these fun photos on the other side. So that's my starting point. Let me just lay that out for you. So here you go, I've mounted the photos onto just some white. Given that they're reasonably busy photos and they're going to go on to some quite busy colours, I definitely need some white to just, you know, calm it down a little. And I also thought I might pull in a little bit of the cloud cover, just because it's a soft colour in the background and it just looks quite subtle but lovely with these photos. So I've popped that one into the background here. I've got a little strip up here, so I might be putting a little bit of decorative paper or something, a bit of fun up there. I'm just using a standard A4. Actually, this is a letterhead one. This is from when I was over in convention, so I was given the American sizing one, which is just very slightly wider and shorter. But either way, I actually use A4 quite often as my coloured mat on a page, just because it's usually a very good size for adding photos together. So this side, I'm also going to pull in that cloud cover. It's actually similar to the mat, isn't it? You're not seeing a lot of it. But I'm thinking I might have a big wide border on this side, given I'm only going to have the two photos. And you can see I've actually treated this one a little bit. Just pull this out of the way. Can you see that? I have pulled in that little embossing folder, one of the mini ones that we've got in this collection, this one right here, and I've just made this in the exact size that I can put this through the machine. So I had to go this way. It's 6 inches wide, so it's fine, it can get through the large cut and emboss machine, but I love that little extra bit of detail on there, especially given that these photos are not going to reach right to that side. So I think that's just adding something a bit of interest. Right, we're getting serious now, so I've pulled out mats so that I can spread out across the page and you can see how it's going to start coming together. Now I feel because of this A4 size, having that little bit extra, this is where I can start to pop in a little bit of colour. So remember I said this was one of my favourites in the pack, this strawberry slush piece. I just thought a little strip of that along the top here might just add a lift to the page straight away and help pull in some of the colours of these jars and things that I'm going to start adding in. Now if you remember, I'm modelling this off this little card where I did the 3 in a row and did little clusters on top. So I've got these little cutouts and I'm going to pull them along here, and I'm just going in gradual colour, and we went across the page, so I'm just going to bring in a few more across down here, and they're going to be a little starting point for me to embellish. Now also, because I have brought in a little bit of that patterned paper, I'm definitely going to bring in a little bit of patterned paper over this side as well. So I'm just thinking maybe some little strips somehow in here coming out from behind those embellishments. So that's just going to layer up a little bit of that colour, and I'm doing sort of 3 series of splashes of that paper. Now if you recall, I had cut out some of these, so I have got that lovely lemonade with that texture on it. I'm not sure if you picked up the texture earlier, but there it is there again. So we're going to do a little bit of layering. I'm not quite sure how I'm layering these up just yet. Maybe something a little bit like that. And then I've got this one. I love the little umbrella, don't you? And then this one's already got a bit of texture, but I might actually do the same as the other one. I might actually run that through and get a little bit of the glass texture on there as well. So we can just layer these ones up, doing a little bit of interest here, just to make a nice little cluster happening. It's already looking very much like a celebration. I think you can be lifted up a little bit, and so can you. So yeah, I'd love to be drinking these drinks. They do look quite yummy. Right, so we've got those sitting on that side. So we might need to do something similar on the other side as well. So I've created another couple of these, just cutting those out. Whether it will work up high, or I think that might cover us up a little bit. So it might be that I have to do it a little bit more in the center or just slightly up. But I might just do another couple over here and maybe do a little bit of something with those as well. Now the next thing I'm thinking is that the white is quite plain, and if you remember, we had this delightful embossing folder that's got, I don't know if you can catch it in the light, but it's got that lovely bouquet, floral bouquet through it. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't. So here we go. Anyway, I have actually embossed a couple of them, just little strips, 3 inch by 6 inch patterned white cardstock. not really picking it up that well, but there's a lovely texture on here and it's a beautiful bouquet. At this point, if I wanted it to show up more, I could get out my blending brushes and brush over that embossing, and that's just going to shine. And I may even do that, but I'm just going to keep without too much extra color just now. Just want to try this out. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I could have a little bit of the pattern coming along here. So if we spread this out that little bit more, that will cover that join, make sure it's all even. And there will be, just showing now, this nice pattern texture coming through, which I think is quite pretty. And same down here. So of course you're not going to see this very well on camera, but I will take a few still photos afterwards so that you can see the effect of this really lovely texture coming through onto this page. So I'm thinking I need something similar down the other side. So what I'll do is I'll take this 3" by 6" strip. I'm just going to pop it into my embossing folder and I'm going to run it over to my main machine and get another one done. Okay, so I've got this other one here. I've got the lovely textured embossing in it. If I pop this under here, I can keep my lines all nice and even all the way around. And I might even do a second one above as well, because these will hide that little join if I'm wanting to do that. This could also be a spot for journaling, so I may not need the texture, or a title, although I'm just considering now, as I say that with a title, I did notice in our Celebrate Together stamp, which is on its way to me at the moment, there is a day to remember, and that would work really well as a title for this. I could have a day to remember up here, or I could have a day to remember down here with some journaling up here. So that being the case, maybe I will, I may cut out the day to remember as a separate, or I may leave it flat so that I can stamp a day to remember there, which means that I could obviously pull in this one over here to finish off that look. So that makes a nice straight line of embossing on that side, which you're probably not seeing a lot of in camera, but believe me, it looks really elegant and it looks beautiful. So that's the starting point for this page. Without too much fuss and bother, I am getting a really lovely page together. I've got a spot that I can pop my journaling on top of, I've got a spot for my title, and I've got all these beautiful photos being celebrated. Okay, now there's one other thing. I'm feeling like these are quite blur. They just look like paper. And there is a little trick I saw that I thought could look really neat on this page as well. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of space to work. So what I need is my silicone mat, and I'm just going to try it out on 1 or 2 of these. Okay, so of course I have textured up. I actually went away and did this one as well. So I've got 2 quite textured looking glasses, which is kind of fun, but I want some shiny glasses as well. So I'm going to take the likes of this one and potentially this tall one, maybe this one as well, and I'm going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So let's grab my Versamark ink. This is your sticky watermark stamp pad. And I'm just going to pop this over. In fact, I can do the whole lot of this glass because I want the whole thing to be shiny. So I'm just going to pat on here. And we don't want to make it too wet, but just going to pat on there so it's a bit sticky. I might use my little tweezers at this point so that I don't get this everywhere. I'm going to add a little bit of embossing powder, and this is clear embossing powder, so we don't want to add colour. We're just trying to add texture, a bit of shine. Okay, so I'll just get off the excess. And we've got powder on here, and now I'm just going to heat set it. Righto, so I've done 1 layer on here, and there is a little shiny finish, but it is, excuse my voice, it is actually slightly bubbly. Probably there's a few little spots that didn't catch the Versamark, and that's quite normal with the first pass. So I'm actually going to repeat it. I'm just going to go on top again, put a little layer of the sticky ink on top. I'm going to add in some clear embossing powder all over, get rid of any excess, and then I'm just going to heat it up again. Right, so I can already see it's gone a lot thicker now and really shiny. I'm not sure if that's going to pick up very well on the camera, but I think I can do one more pass. So I'll do that and show you the result. Right, so oh my goodness, this is really, really cool, very, very shiny in real life. It's almost like a thick layer on top, which is just going to make this cluster look stunning. So I'm going to do that to all my other embellishments just so that rich color comes out and there's a real shine to the finish of these glasses. So here you go, I've done all of these different little ones and they are catching the light beautifully. They're getting real shine to them, slightly curled up, but that's not going to be an issue once I put a little bit of foam tape or something behind them to stick them down. But I'm loving that little extra bit of shine to these fun glasses. So I just need to finish this off really. I'm going to have that embossing folder in both places. I'm going to do another little embellishment cluster like this onto this side over here and add in some journaling, and this page will be called Done. Of course I don't have the title that I want to use yet, so I just might have to put a little placeholder in, but let me go off and do that and I'll show you the finished product. So there we have it. I have popped together this little cluster. We've got the nice little embossing and all these little patches. I've just got these rather lovely holographic resin dots to add to the end. So let's just pull in a few of these. They are just almost a bit like water splatters, which I think is such a cool effect. Oops, that one just held on to my piece upside down. There we go. Oh, we've even got these rather large ones. Let's try a large one on here and see what we think. I actually think I might put them over here. We'll just try that. Grab ones over here. It's got a couple of little ones over that side and one of the large ones maybe up here. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? I think the shine of these is rather neat. This one here, and then a big blob. Where do we want our big blob? Probably over here. So there we go. Let me finish it off with journaling and a title when I do get my stamp set, and I'm going to be really happy with this lovely layout. Using embossing to get a nice shiny effect, using dry embossing to get a really nice texture to the page, and those fun bright colours are not overwhelming these photos in the slightest, given that we've toned it back with the whites and that lovely cloud cover in colour in the background. I hope you enjoyed seeing that come together. Thanks for watching, and we will be back again soon with some more inspiration. Bye!